Good morning. I'm Larry Woodham, the Green Winer, and welcome to our third in a series of programs designed to help you, the wine consumer. Today we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to our heart as Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery, and that's the sustainability aspect of who we are. Now, before we get any further, I want to make a statement, and then I want you to really think about this statement because it's true and it's sincere and it's very passionate. Every winery in America, in fact every business in America, should be running their businesses and their wineries in a green, sustainable way. Now, part of that equation is going to be a lot of what we're going to talk about today, but I really want you to think about that. No business in America, including wineries, should be operating in any other fashion in our society at this time, today. Okay, now, what I'm going to talk about and show you some of the things that we do at Bunker Hill that's extremely important that every winery should be doing. Number one, and the most obvious, is if you look at the wines over here, you're going to see that some of the bottles are tall and skinny. Some are a little bit shorter and a little bit fatter. This one here is a little bit fatter bottle, as you can see. Now, every bottle here is a 750. The contents inside every bottle is exactly the same. There's absolutely no difference. However, every bottle here is a recycled, repurposed wine bottle. Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery has never, I repeat that again, has never purchased a single new wine bottle. Every wine bottle you see and every wine bottle you don't see is recycled, repurposed. Now, every wine bottle that Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery has ever used has been in a recycled, repurposed wine bottle. Now, we're the only winery in America that's 100% recycled on wine bottles. Now, this goes back to the green sustainability aspect of what we're talking about. Every winery in America should be taking their own empties back. Every one. They should be taking them back, cleaning, sanitizing them, and putting them back into circulation. You only have one winery, and that's us right here at Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery. Keep this in mind, and we're not talking about this a lot in America, but 60% of a winery's carbon footprint, and the rest of the world is talking about it, is the wine bottle. So a winery cannot even pretend to be green unless they're taking back their wine bottles, because that's 60% of the equation. They have to start taking them back. They have to start cleaning and sanitizing them and putting them back into circulation. Now, let's suppose you go to the store or come to a winery and you pick up a bottle of wine, you take it home and you enjoy it. Excuse me. When you're finished with it, what happens? Most of you will take it and throw it in your recycling bin. Some of you will throw it away, which isn't a good idea, but most of you will throw it in your recycling bin with good intentions and really think you're doing everything that you should be doing. Now, what's going to happen to that wine bottle? No one really stops to ask that question. It isn't going back to the winery, not at all. That winery is still continuing to buy brand new wine bottles every time they bottle from one of three places generally: China, Mexico, or Italy. Very few come from America anymore. But that wine bottle is going to be, in most cases, crushed up, and it's going to be sent to China, Mexico, or Italy, remelted with thousands of degrees of temperature, which is fossil fuels, by the way, to make a new wine bottle to send back to the factory wineries in America. It's absolutely a crazy thing. It makes no sense. That winery should be taking their own empties back and avoiding all this extra commotion that's going on with that bottle. Now, Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery, this is one bottle, takes every bottle back of their own. We have since the day we opened almost 11 years ago. Every bottle that we bottle in, we welcome it to come back. We clean and sanitize them and put them back into circulation, and it just goes on and on and on. Now, we also take back the wax on top of the wine bottles, this stuff up here. And here's just a little example that just came back today. This is the wax off the top of a wine bottle like this. We take this wax and we remelt it and we add it to another wine bottle. It doesn't go to a landfill. Remember, your plastic and aluminum foils are. Now also, the corks that came out of this wine bottle like this cork we also recycle and repurpose. Now you can't reuse it because obviously it's got a hole in it from the corkscrew, and you can't clean and sanitize this cork again. So this cork, we collect them, put them in a container, and accumulate them about every week to 10 days. We dump them into a box, and at our expense we send them to a company in Missouri that actually converts those into cork floor tiles. They don't go to landfills. So if we do our part, nothing, absolutely nothing ends up in a landfill. It all gets recycled and repurposed. And that's extremely, extremely important. Now we just sent out a letter from Bunker Hill to our guests and our customer base. I'm not going to expect you to read it from your vantage point, but a couple of the highlights are Bunker Hill just went over a threshold. We actually have recycled over 100,000 wine bottles. And now what does that mean in everyday language to us out here in the world? It's saving a lot of energy, for one. Now to create new wine bottles, it takes a lot of stuff to do it with. You have to mine stuff. You have to take feldspar and stuff out of the earth to create new wine bottles. Our customers here, because they bring things back, we've actually helped reduce mining waste by over 7,000 pounds. We've reduced air pollution by over 500 pounds because these bottles are recycled and repurposed. We've saved enough electricity, because that's energy, to run 33,000 TV sets in America for 1 hour. We've also saved enough energy by recycling and repurposing these wine bottles to give 100,000 homes in America 100 watts of electricity to run their lighting in their house. And if they have LEDs, that's going to be an awful lot of lighting. So think about that. So is recycling worth it? Absolutely. We all should be doing this, and every winery in America should be doing this, not just us. I'm going to put this in perspective really quickly. We're the only winery in America that is 100% recycled on wine bottles. In Europe, which is a big place, when you put all the countries together, every winery of every country takes their own empties back, they clean and sanitize them, and put them back into circulation a minimum of 9 times. No wine bottles go to landfills in Europe. Every winery over there is doing what they should be doing, which is taking their empty bottles back. Fast forward to America, we're the only winery in America that's doing this, and we are throwing in our landfills across our beautiful country every year about 4 billion, that's with a B now, not an M, about 4 billion of these guys right here, perfectly reusable wine bottles, are being tossed into landfills because we don't have we don't make a concerted effort here to recycle, repurpose wine bottles. It's an environmental disaster, and because this is an inorganic material, glass, it takes about 1 million years for one bottle to break down, so it's not a sustainable practice at all. We have to start pushing back. Now, we also make jams, jellies, marmalades, and preserves here, and guess what? They're also in a glass container. We take those back. We take the little metal band, that comes back, and next time when we make our jams, marmalades, and preserves, this is clean, sanitized, and goes back in circulation too, so it doesn't end up in a landfill. Isn't that neat? Now something else we do here at Bunker Hill, which is kind of neat, I'm going to pick up like three glasses here. These are our sampling glasses for our guests when they come. These are all glass, by the way. This isn't plastic. It isn't throwaway stuff. These are glasses, and you can see they're all different. They're not exactly the same. Now, I'm going to get into loyalty points in just a moment, and I'm going to explain that to you. But every sampling glass that we use here, they're going to be different, just like this. But every glass comes from our customers, just like you. We reward people that donate these with loyalty points, and we take these, clean, sanitize them, and put them back into circulation because it's glass. Again, it can be cleaned and sanitized forever, and it doesn't go to a landfill. Isn't that amazing? So when you come to Bunker Hill, don't get hung up on your shapes of your glasses. Something else I want to throw back to you are soft drink cartons. Now, if you look at this box, it looks sort of like a soft drink carton, but it's been flipped, it's been turned. But inside here, this is actually a soft drink carton. We flip them and turn them, and we make 2-pack wine bottle carriers out of these, because most of these are going to landfills. There's a finish on the outside of the cartons that really makes it difficult to recycle. So we take these, we request our customers to save these if they drink soft drinks, get them to us, we flip them, turn them into carriers so they don't go to landfills and they can be used over and over again. Something else we also take back from our customers are, of course, wine bags. You get them. If you have any of these, you bring them to us. We give you loyalty points for them, and we put them back into service just like they were designed to do. They weren't designed to be thrown away and go to a landfill. They're designed to come back and be repurposed, and that's what we do with these guys. Now, we also, all the boxes. This is just a cardboard box. It's a 12-pack. This one is. There are also 6s. But we take these also, and these get repurposed back into circulation as they should be, and we give our customers credits for those too. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about this card here. I know you can't see it from your vantage point. There's a lot of writing on it, etc., but it's all extremely important stuff. On one side is our loyalty point program, and I'll give you one of these before you leave today, so everyone will have one. But it goes down and it breaks everything down of what we recycle, repurpose, and on the right-hand side are all the points, equivalent points that you can earn by doing what's on here. As an example, if you take this bottle home and you enjoy the wine and you rinse it out and you bring it back to us, we're going to give you a loyalty point for this. If it's a sparkling wine bottle, now sparkling wines are a little different. There's a little different lip on the top up here. But sparkling wine bottles are about twice the thickness of a regular wine bottle because they're going to be under pressure, which means there's twice the glass, which means if you throw it into a landfill, you're really going to have an issue because it's going to take about twice as long to break down. But we're always in need of sparkling wine bottles, so we actually will offer someone 5 loyalty points for this guy. Bring it back, clean and sanitize it, we put it back into circulation. Now, let's see what else we do on this list. Well, we do things like on the shelves over here, there's going to be little tags. They're going to say things like bonus loyalty points, these things right here. I know you can't see them well, but that's what they are. Now, those change from time to time because the wines we produce here are all whole fresh and they're seasonal. But they're worth 10 points. So a customer buys something, you automatically get 10 points for that. Now, once you get to 150 points, by whatever you do as a consumer, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. Now, that's a big deal. That isn't one bottle. That's your entire order you're going to get 10% off. And that's your reward for participating with Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery in our green and sustainability programs. That's how important it is to us. There's no question about it. On the other side of this card is our recycling bottle policy. Remember, you're going to get this card before you leave anyway. It goes down, and what it basically says is just rinse the bottle out, bring it back to us, and if it's our bottle, we're going to give you credit for it. That's really all it says. The only exception we have, of course, is to any other Florida winery. We suggest that if you go to them, that you take their bottles back to them and expect them to recycle and repurpose their wine bottles. Now, is there any questions? Okay, very good. Now, this is a lot of stuff to absorb, but we are in the driver's seat. Understand what Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery is doing here. With all of the stuff that we're doing here, everything, this is grassroots. This isn't a mandate from on high. This is us, the people. You and us, we're doing the right thing and we're making things happen because it is the right thing to do. We could not have reached 100,000 wine bottles here if it wasn't for people like you with the same love and passion for protecting our shared environment. Because we are working together, we are changing the world, literally one bottle at a time, one glass at a time, one box at a time. We're changing that and we're making things happen. In closing, I want to leave you with just a thought in your mind. Substantial change in America, our country, has never come from the top down. Everybody at the top is fairly happy. Substantial change in America has always come from us, the people. I don't care if it's in government, I don't care if it's in education, I don't care if it's in business, but it's always flowed from us, the people. And that's exactly what's happening here at Bunker Hill. This is a movement. This is not a mandate. This is us, the people. Always remember that. Who threw the tea into Boston Harbor? Was it the people up here? Or was it us, the people? Remember, if we were alive then, most of us in this room would have been on the ships tossing the tea over the side. That's who we are. And that's who's making a big difference in the way wines are produced and the way wines are consumed today in America. We've got to use Bunker Hill as really a format of change of wine production in this country. So again, thank you for everything. Be sure to pick up your card here on the way out. And signing off the Green Winery, I'll see you real soon. Thank you.